This is Jay Lee Gray, and this is the Kora commentary part 1. Before we begin, I like to say what I'm going to be doing in this video. First, I'm going to be talking about the town of Strattin Tou, which is the first town. And I'll be talking about the demo, which I am introducing with this town as well. And finally, I would like to update on Sacred. So let's begin. So here's the demo of Strattin Tou. The demo and the actual game of Strattin Tou will be the same. The only difference between the demo and the actual game is the actual game will contain all the content, whereas the demo will only consist of this one town. As we begin, the idea is that you're some person that immigrated to Kora, or you could be somebody coming back to Kora, whichever you choose. And the idea is that you're on this. You start off on this dock, and imagine a ship coming out like this, and then you walked off, and the ship has left recently. Now, I wanted to. Originally, I was going to have the ship here, but I thought it wouldn't look right because the ship would just be staying there, and I could have it going off in the middle of nowhere, but then it wouldn't have this. It would just be sitting there, and I ended up having this idea where I didn't build a ship at all. It saved me time, but that wasn't the reason why I did it. I did it for more of immersion purposes. I will have docks like this scale at some part of the world where it would be just ships docked there. But since in Minecraft ships don't move on that scale, I'm not going to have any moving ships like that. First is, once you get off the ship, you can't jump over the fences. So you can't get off this dock. That's the whole reason why there's an iron door behind you. So you go over here. You notice the door on the right. Can't go through there. So you gotta go through this door. Now you're in the immigration room. Was this tutorial? And you could person here. This is their desk. And this is where they live. Oh, that's not supposed to be open. Let's just close that real quick. This is going to be closed. Your first playthrough, so you won't be able to go through here either. So this is where the immigration officer lives. He lives in this room here. He has various items. There's a bathroom. And this is where tutorial. This whole town's going to kind of serve as a tutorial, as a starting town. But I also wanted it to not just be a tutorial town. So I made sure that everybody had a living area, had bathrooms, and all kinds of stuff. These iron door systems will appear elsewhere in the world, and they will unlock other routes throughout. I'll explain that in a minute. This painting here is to show you that there's going to be some secret areas. And it's not going to be explicit in this tutorial book. You just have to discover that on your own. Here's the nation's flag. I wanted to make sure the player on the first playthrough gets a chance to look at the tutorial book. So it's very evident by the lantern over it, and the fact this is the only doorway out of here. So you have to be going out of your way to not explore this. Although if you are like a returning player or for whatever reason, you could just skip it. There is that option. Bathroom. Down here is the kitchen area. Immigration building after the building in Morrowind, because Morrowind has a very big influence on this world. So I had this idea of gaining some inspiration, because that's why there's stairs going down. And Morrowind is like a little cellar room with a few buckets and a bed. But I turned this into a kitchen to make it more livable. Again, not copying it, but getting inspiration. Most of this town, you won't actually see the influences. Like right here, there's a dining table and some barrels. I think there was a dining table in Morrowind too. Oops. You go out here, and this is pretty much like Morrowind, except I have a map system. So the maps work really weird. I couldn't get them to work well when the player themselves create it, but I found a way where I can map out a town. So every town will have their own map. And this is the map of Strattin Tou. And that is what it looks like. You could see where you're at, and this introduces to the player the map system. So it's map system and road signs is how this place is created. Here's a little desk for the general before you get out. A seating area, some books. And down here is where the general lives with his own bathroom. So this part's kind of like Morrowind, except for without the underground area. Underground area lives because Morrowind, like many other games, don't really showcase where these people are or anything like that. It's just a personal thing. I wanted to make it very like it feels like a real place, even though a lot of it, the houses look weird and all that. I'm going to show you the shortcut system. So if you open up these iron doors like this one, you can go in here now. It's unlocked. Same thing with this little stash house right here. It's going to store all the food and water and money that the town needs. You can go in here, make another route into the immigration buildings. Now it's no longer a linear path. There's many paths to it now. So this is a storage building for food. Now for this section, I wanted to introduce everything that towns will have in general, except for the inn. Inn will be more of a city thing, because there's actually inns weren't as common as people made them out to be in medieval times. They were actually less common, but they still did exist. So the tax office, I want to introduce players to the tax office where everybody pays their taxes. So this will be a common building you'll see. So all these will be common buildings. Maybe not structured the same way, but they'll all be the buildings. They'll all be jobs you can work at. Outsiders and player can live for the first time. It's kind of like a in-game, in-world explanation of these newfound immigrants coming over need a place to stay. So a lot of them will come to this end. So I'm not going to go through all of it, because all these rooms are basically the same, but the furniture is laid out slightly differently. But they all look like this. They don't have very much storage. That's it right there. Just start the player off, really. And a whole bunch of tables. Place to relax, sit and talk. You can listen to some music. We're here by the Jukebox. And that's another thing about this world, is that it's kind of like a combination of modern with like medieval themes. So the innkeeper works here. You can shut these up if he's closed. And this is his whole back area. He could sell various things right here as well. He sells bread and empty maps for navigators. some cooked fish. This town has a lot of water and a lot of fish around, so that's why there's going to be a lot of fish you're going to find in this storage. Less so in the other towns, but they do have fish still. A lot of the grain as well comes from the town over, Sacred, which you will not see in this video. But that's going to come out soon. A bathroom for him. And if you notice, a lot of the bathrooms don't have showers. That's because they have a dedicated bathhouse. This both saves time, space. So if you just have one bathhouse where people get bathed instead of having a whole bunch of individual like showers, I would have to make this bathroom, it would be either cramped or I have to make the bathroom a little bit bigger. This was actually poorly planned because the dining table's kind of thin and the walls didn't end up getting as thick, but at this point it was kind of like too little too late. And then here's his bedroom with some of the storage. So that's the end. Now this one's not too common. You won't see this in many towns, but you'll see it in a couple cities or pretty much the cities for sure. And here's the bathhouse. This bathhouse will have explicit exchange rates and explains what all the rooms are. This is just for the tutorial town again, getting players used to how things are. So this has a bathhouse, so it'll show you an example of a hot bath and a cold bath. Some towns will have one, some towns will have the other, and some towns will have both. And there's one town that has neither, so it just depends on the town. Cold bath. And also area. And that's it for the bathhouse, really. Most of them will have that. Here's the blacksmith house. So the blacksmith will come over here, work on some stuff. Bunch of anvils, saws, fletching tables, blast furnaces, a whole bunch of stuff to help make weapons and stuff. Sells to soldiers. This is where he lives. Again, a lot of common elements, tables, couches, and all that sort of thing. And most of these houses won't have showers or anything because they have a bathhouse, and that's pretty much the business section of this. Now we come to the living area. Or, hold on. Yeah, let's go to the living area. So these two houses right here. This house will belong to the bathhouse, and the other house will belong to the tax office. This house contains a kitchen and of jukeboxes, or that's an oak block actually. Little music players for them to make some music if they want. Upstairs is where the bedrooms are in this house. I guess they only have one bathroom, huh? So this is the master bedroom. You can see most of this. This is supposed to be the kids' room. So this is kind of like toys. I want to use the totem of the Undying as like a doll. A spyglass to look through, some wooden storage from the fight with, some books, sticks, you know, just toy ideas really. I'm going to speed through most of this other house because most of these houses will have something similar to say. And you can see all the walkthroughs. I got all the walkthroughs out for Strattin Tou, so you can just watch that to get all that. So here's this house. Has a lot of the same things, bathroom and all sorts of things. What makes this house special though is the fact that when you get to the bottom floor, you can go outside to this little section. A little kind of like a valley section. And this valley is to teach the player that there's multiple ways of getting around. So instead of creating one path and then having the player have to run all the way back, if you know where you want to go, like for instance, if I'm right here and I want to get there, I could go around there, but I could just go like through here and go up this ladder here for the docks. Or so I can go down there, I can go through the house, I can go through down those stairs as well. So multiple ways of getting around. Down here is the fishing houses. I'm just gonna choose one. This one. Fishing house is like the poor section of the town. As you can see, they have not as much stuff. This is like their money level. That's it. So most of these chests are left kind of empty because I want to leave room to put more stuff in there. So stuff to put in the chests that give you an idea of what it is. Most of the barrels honestly are pretty full for the most part, except for these fishing houses. That's for a different reason. Well, basically one room and a bathroom. A little tiny bathroom. And all these fishing houses could be described like this. They have slightly different amounts of money, but none of it goes over 32 emeralds. A little well here. This actually connects the bathhouse waste. This pipeline. And so when the fishermen work, they go down to the docks and they can go around this big lake, fish around. I think these are all, yeah, these are all fishing rods. So the player shouldn't have a problem. It's filled. A lot of the chests will be filled. Some of them will not. But it's just to give you enough stuff to work with for multiplayer purposes. That way you just don't run out of stuff. So here's this house is actually a lot more rich. And this house is like the fishing business house. So the business family here owns the fishing company. Hired these workers here as part of their workforce. They fish, they bring the fish here, they pay the workers, they sell the fish to the trade house right there, and then the trade house sells it to the other businessmen, and then the big customer. And that's how they make their living. Here's a little pool. This pool's very small and not very deep. It's kind of a lame pool to be honest, but there will be better pools, and it introduces pools to the game. Chairs you can sit in, multiple bathrooms. Here's a little kitchen area filled with food. Let's go around here. Or you just skip through this door here. Make it faster. These tables are used for food prepping, whereas so they have a little outside eating area, and the kitchen prepares food, and you can just hand it over here to the people, to the family, and then to the kitchen table this way. Here's like a living area. Pretty common, honestly. Bedroom. There's another bathroom for the master bedroom next to it. We'll have room for knitting. Some money. As you can see, they have way more money than the fishermen. Some emergency bread. That one's pretty small. Oh, that's here's the guest bedroom. So the guest bed, like, if they have a from far away staying over, you could just have like a little small guest bedroom. Bigger houses will have this, where they have a small guest bedroom for people to stay over, whether it's a stranger or a family from far away. And here is like a little office where they can go over their financials with the desk, and here's their money storage. So as you can tell, they have plenty of money. Now I'm gonna go over to the upper level. We're gonna go over to Trade House. Trade House, watchtowers, those houses over there, and then the governor's house. So down here is, we're below this right now. This is storage for all the businessmen. So they have many barrels will have food and charcoal and all that kind of stuff. These places have money, and these chests will have random stuff. Bunch of random stuff, as you can tell. Now that's the bottom level. If you go through here, I could have just gone through this door. This is the lower markets. The lower markets is more for everyday use and what people need. And it would be a good idea to go here for your travel. So tools will have various weapons you can start off with, or tools like iron hoes, axes, and swords is what they sell. And they're all iron. Food stall, pretty self-explanatory. It's a bunch of food. Now, this food stall is unique to other food shops you'll see in the markets, is because they actually have food already made. So they already have cooked chicken and cooked fish already. A lot of cooked fish. You'll see fish everywhere. Yeah, this is where for travelers, this is the one I was thinking of. Buy some bows and arrows, buy some stone swords, some clocks, some compasses, and spyglasses. And this final one down here, all you see is a general goods store, so they kind of just sell everything. I could show you a bunch of berries, water, your buckets, charcoal, bread, cooked in pie, so a bunch of random food, a bunch of random stuff, hay bales, honey, music disc, ignits, milk, slime balls, diamonds, a bunch of raw materials, and a whole bunch of ender pearls. Even more than that. Yeah, because there are compasses and books and quills and clocks, bowls, sticks, and books. So a bunch of random stuff, honestly. So all you see, you could buy anything that you see, I guess. So this lower market's mostly practical stuff. I guess this is the 4 shops, and now we're gonna go to up here to this section of Trevor's Trade House. Trevor is actually a little nod to Trevor Belmont. That was kind of funny. So Trevor would work here. He could sell some stuff directly at a cheaper price, because whatever he gets, the businessmen actually have to buy from him. So they have to up their prices. So any it's like kind of like a little sale. So on sale stuff you can buy directly from Trevor at a cheaper rate. No bathroom for Trevor or other people to use. And up right here It's the upper markets. So upper markets have a few food stalls. You got like a little seafood. You got a little fishing place. Elegant Dishes has a lot of weird stuff, like rotten flesh and spider eyes is what you can buy. There's a lot of weird off the wall food is the idea. Beer Lovers, a music store where you can buy a music disc. And Book Lovers, a bookstore. So not very practical. Most of it's not, except for the seafood, I guess. And here's like a little bar eating area you could sit at and eat some food. And all these you can close up if you want. If it's a close up shop. And that's the upper markets. And then here's where Trevor lives. He lives in this little bedroom, and up here is a little dining room and kitchen and desk. Pretty much anything, really. And that's the whole trade house. So the trade house had a lot of parts to it. A lot of small parts, but there was a lot of different sections to it. Now let's talk about the watchtowers. Over here is a little less common one. You'll see this sometimes. But yeah, this is just less common. This contains 10 beds. And there's a little bathroom where they're the military, they don't really care too much about privacy. And these see. Yeah, plenty of arrows. Plenty of them. Well, not the only one in this town. And here's like the little watchtower area. You can ring the alarm bell, and then you look watch. And the other watchtower is order, but also give a little bit more familiarity, because every town will be structured differently. You have different kinds of buildings, although a lot of them are similar. In one way or another, they all have something distinct about them. Or these watchtowers would be mostly the same. Once you see one of that kind, you'll see a lot of them. Most of them will be like this. Some chests, a fireplace. And here are some on top. Much the same, honestly. Actually, their structure is the same too, just one's slightly taller. Now, I added armor stands in this one and not the other one, because armor stands I found out before my other world got deleted. I found out that adding armor stands everywhere in like a city watchtowers, because there are going to be multiple of them, actually slows the game down a lot. But since this is a small town, these kind of watchtowers, I could get away with it, because there's only like one of them. Okay, and then finally, before we leave the town, there's this section over the bridge. This introduces the roads, and these houses are the business houses. So most of them work in this area over here on the bottom and upper markets. Upper markets. One of the houses works as a stable hand. So they sell horses and take care of horses. So I'll just show that real quick. So whenever you're pointing on the left side is where the horses are going to be stored. So you can buy a horse from here. There's the right side, you store a horse here. The reason for that is because I wanted to make sure the players know right away. Left side facing the town, horses. Right side where you can keep your horses. Keeps a little empty space, makes it make a little bit more sense. So if you're a horse owner, you pay out the stable hand to take care of your horses while you're out in the town for however long you are in. Now, in this town, you could get away with having a horse running through town, but most of the towns will have a little bit more cramped space. And if you imagine all these people walking around, and that's why there's stables outside the town usually. Now I'm going to show you one house. One house or two houses. I'll show you two houses. So I'm going to show you this two-story house because I really like this one. If you want to watch the rest, you can do the walkthrough. But here's some note blocks. You could do some interesting things with that. I haven't really tried, but I'm sure somebody could make like an actual song out of this. Maybe. It's kind of dark right now because it's nighttime. I use mostly natural light for the towns. Let's see. That little dining table, living room. This house has a lot of like an open room concept with some closed room concept. So some kind of modern stuff thrown in there, like I said. Some houses have like a really open design to it, and some houses have more of a closed room by room design. Give it a little bit more variety. Bathroom right there, of course. And then over here, you go across the porch, which I really like this. You go across like the little deck here to get to the library. And here. And thank goodness the lighting's not glitching out. Sit here. And there's two rows that go around this where you can look for books. Not very big, but it didn't need to be. A little library. That was a fun room to make. Let's go out of here. I'm going to show you one more house. Because while this house was fun to explore, the other house is mechanically fun to explore because it's the most interconnected rooms I have ever done. At least I think so. So you got the center dining room you walk into, right? And then you got bedroom on the left. And bathroom right here. Or the bathroom that goes out here. So essentially one center room with everything around it connecting. Go all the way around. So you can go all the way around here. Little storage room over here that leads back here. All the way around here to the kitchen. Goes right here. Which makes the house, I feel like, very convenient to navigate. I don't think it's that confusing. Although, maybe if you were playing this for the first time. I really don't have a reference because I made this world, so I know how everything is laid out. But, like, if, for instance, if you want to go to the kitchen, you make something, deliver right here. Boom. You're in the kitchen, all of a sudden you need to go to the bathroom. It's right there. Boom. So I really liked how this house turned out. Very interconnected and really showcases that there's multiple routes in this game that makes it convenient for the player to navigate. So now let's talk about the final house, the governor's house. Down here is the governor's stables, or there's the public stables where you can publicly buy a horse and all that. Whereas this is more just privately owned. The governor doesn't have to worry about paying any money for the horses. The governor has a armored horse, and this is the governor's horse, so there's a bodyguard with them. Some water for the horses, hay, and some food for them. To kind of symbolically establish power, I wanted the governor's house to be on a hill above everything else. So fishermen were the poorest, so they were put on the bottom right here. And the governor's house is the richest, so it was put on top of a hill. Originally, I was going to try to do something different with the windows here instead of just doing glass like up here, but it didn't really work out once the height of the windows extended above 2 blocks. My rule of thumb for rich houses is that they have to be at least 4 blocks between the flooring. So from the floor to ceiling. There's always going to be at least 4 blocks between that to make it feel very roomy and less cramped. Decided to do this differently for this house on the bottom floor because I wanted to have room for a chandelier. And that obviously, as you can tell, took up a lot of space. Here's a bathroom, a bunch of storage, like a whole lot of food storage. And there's showers. Oh, see? Showers right here. As you can tell, that's not common. There's a little kitchen, brewing stands to set stuff on, bunch of stoves. Over here's the dance floor, so you go in here, and the idea was, I'm just gonna turn on this. Idea was you could be a DJ, and you have 3 jukeboxes, and 3 of each type of music disc, so you can have the music played in any category, or any combination. The lights can just be on like it is right now. For whatever reason, this one's not turning on. Oh, it just took a minute. My bad. But you can also make them flicker. I know there's a way where it just does it automatically, where you can make it flicker around all the time, but it always eventually stops working for me. Now the flickering doesn't really work well in this dance floor because it's not big enough. Which is funny to say, but it's true. But I did, the one in Valencia is massive. The flickering a lot better in that one. Which I have not posted a video for that, so I'm the only one that really knows that. Here's some more note blocks. Plenty of room for them to play. Little eating tables for the dance floor people. Some clocks above here. And some stairs. I wanted the stairs in this game to be very convenient. So if there's multiple levels, the stairs will be right next to each other. So it'd be like this. And if this was like 3 floors, it would be like over here. Or it'd be straight ahead. That way all the stairs are close together. Makes it convenient to go between floors. Maybe not if you're on the other side of the house, if it's a big, massive house, but once you reach the staircase, you can go to any floor from there. And then you can go here to the porch. And over here's a fireworks stand, some note blocks. Not very impressive fireworks, but it's just, again, to showcase that there is fireworks. And the one in, what's it called? Coultier. That town actually has a really great fireworks display. Some outdoor cooking. Plenty of food storage. Again, here's the office area for the governor's office. So if you talk to the governor, if you have any issues or you're paying taxes, or the whatever tax, you'll pay the tax office for taxes, but the governor collects taxes from the tax office and sends it to the capital city, where lords then send part of it to the king, and part of it they keep to go around the city, or to keep for themselves. There's a little bathroom, of course, and this is the whole carpets system. So I really like the carpet system because you can't set anything on top of the carpets in Minecraft. But wool and carpet looks exactly the same, except wool's a little bit lower. So you have this whole illusion that the chairs look like they're pressing down on the carpet, which I really like. I like this table. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but yeah. You can go out here, or we could have come out here in this little hallway here. The hallway is for the convenience of the governor. The governor could just go here when he's working. But this is more for the bedroom area, because a citizen will come through here. Mostly natural light. Little library for the governor. And these paintings are just decoration, so even though a player might think, oh, or secret passage, not every painting will have a secret passage, but it's worth trying anyways. Here's a little bedroom. I think this one was meant to be the guest bedroom, I think. Maybe. There's a bathroom with showers. Here's the governor's daughter's room. They got pink flooring. Oh yeah, you can see it very well here. See? House pressed down. And this is various stuff. Look how many emeralds she has. So they're not. It's very big contrast between the fisherman and the governor. This is not even good either. This is actually pretty decent. But there's actually bigger ones after this. Emeralds. More emeralds. So plenty of money. And here's the governor. Governor's bathroom. And here's his bodyguard's bathroom. So he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 bodyguards. Usually governors will have between 6 and 12 as a normal rule. It's not always the case, but it is usually the case. They're equipped with armor, weapons, all kinds of stuff. And we're looping back around. And that's the governor's house. Now there's only a few more things to talk about. First of all is the difference demo and the actual game. So I think I already said this before, but the demo will have the small town, and that's it. The actual game, the town will still be here. It's not going to change, but you'll have the whole world to explore. Demo, originally I was going to leave the whole empty landscape available for exploring, but I thought, wow, that's a large amount of space. Because this whole world's, so you got all these invisible walls like right here. They're going to block you from fully exploring outside this town. So it might feel a little bit more limiting in that way. Once you get past the demo and play the actual game, the invisible barriers will only be around the whole world and not the town itself. If that makes any sense. So we go down here. This is going to showcase the other part of Strattin Tou. Is that you can go to any town that you see on here. These aren't all the towns or cities. If it's far away, farther away, it's going to appear over here. Where it's closer, it's going to appear over here. Same thing with the sacred, it's going to be actually directly right over there. You'll see that soon once I complete it. That leads me to Airdar. Is going to be very. It's going to have to travel for a while. That's going to lead me to the sacred update. So sacred, I've been working a lot on. I've actually made some really good progress. Most of it stayed the same from the old. And I've decided to keep the old footage instead of deleting it. So it's going to be in a playlist on my channel by itself. But the old footage will not. You can compare and contrast it, and I wouldn't mind seeing that. But Sacred's going to be a interesting town to explore next. So I'm going to get that done as soon as I can. I got done with one house, but I got finished the property. And now that the houses actually have more land space, because I actually expanded the land space of them quite a bit, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with all that land and some of the houses. That's it. this was Strattin Tou's commentary, and look forward to more walkthroughs. I'll upload the walkthroughs first, of course, before the commentary. Then you can watch the commentary afterwards of Sacred. That might be a long video. We'll see. This one's already pretty long. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.